What's up, guys? This is episode 5 of our podcast, The Undercover Weebs, and today we have a very special guest, our friend Isaac. Isaac, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Isaac. I'm one of these guys' buddies who also shares a love for anime, and I've listened to all their podcasts so far, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, Isaac will probably be on future episodes as well. And today we're just going to be doing a actual tier maker. We're going to create a tier list for Shonen anime. And I think if we've read the manga, we can also make our judgments off of the source material if we'd like. But yeah, should we
Yeah,
get into this?
yeah, and I made our own specific tier list for this because I noticed a lot of the tier lists that are already out there have a lot of seinen ones, even though it's like on shonen specific tier lists, which didn't make a lot of sense. But
I
then
also feel like
again,
Shonen's kind of a gray area a little bit.
yeah,
Like a bunch of stuff can fit in.
that is definitely for
Definitely,
sure because
so
I
many
think
young male protagonists there are in
yeah, a,
anime these days.
a lot
Right.
of pretty much people consider anything published in Shonen Jump to be shonen, but I don't find that to be true really, because I mean like Death Note was published in Shonen Jump, but that is the definition of a seinen,
Right.
and on a lot of these tier lists I saw like Attack on Titan is on it, but that's also about as seinen as it comes.
Yeah, Death Note
Yeah,
is definitely its own animal. I think
I
definitely.
agree. And then I guess Promise Neverland's kind of a seinen
Yeah,
vibe as well. But I saw that on a bunch of other tier lists. But I just wanted to throw that in there because I love it so much.
it's a great show. If you that one is on the edge for me. I think you can consider it more of a shonen because it is. The characters are quite young.
Yeah.
Like what are they, like 10? Or no, they're 12. They're going to be 12, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're turning 12 in the anime.
So like, what are a couple of like the details that you think like exclude like shonens from like other shows? Like, I don't know, like what's the defining characteristics of a shonen, just so we can put them all out there, I guess.
When you look it up, like the
Yeah.
definition of a shonen, it's supposed to
Yep.
be like geared towards young teenage male
Mhm.
audiences, and what that usually turns out to be is some type of battle anime where the character is around the young, or like between the ages of like 12 and 15.
Yeah.
And then you tend to notice that in those shows they make up like their own type of special powers or like power
Right. There's a
systems,
power system.
and that's
What?
common throughout almost like all shonen. I mean, there's a few on here that aren't like that, but it's pretty common when you look at it. That's pretty
Yeah.
much how all shonen are.
I guess what I think of a shonen, I think of like heartbreaking flashbacks, training montages, tournament
Yeah, there
arcs,
has to
stuff
Yeah,
be
like
at
that. You know what I'm
least
saying?
one tournament arc.
definitely.
Or like announcing every attack before you do it, shit like
Yell
that.
before hitting the sneak attack.
Right, yeah,
Definitely.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So why don't we get going on this tier list?
Dead parents,
Yeah.
that sort of
Always
thing.
dead parents. Always
Yep.
starting from unfortunate
Tragic
circumstances,
Yeah,
and then we'll cover some more of the actual tropes when we're going through
Yep.
the list.
yeah. That's just what comes to mind when I think of shonen.
Yeah.
But I
So
love shonen, so let's get into it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
easily.
So you guys can see my screen here, right? So we're
Yep.
gonna start on the top left here with Assassination Classroom. I have only seen actually what I should have done before is saying what the tiers are, because most of the people are not going to be able to see the video here.
Yep.
So the top tier is S tier, and that is like perfection, like basically the best of the best shonen. Like there's not a problem wrong with it. And then right underneath that is A tier, and I consider this to be in a category that it's good enough to recommend to someone else, but it's not like the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Yep.
And then right underneath that was B tier, which is good but not special, meaning like yeah, you're gonna watch it, yeah, you're gonna continue to watch it, but it's not something that you're gonna go out and recommend to others.
Yep.
Underneath that is C, which is meh, is what I wrote, which is basically like yeah, if like you're watching it, you can be interested in it,
Yeah, you can
but
watch it, but not necessarily, completely love it.
yeah, you can like not care about it too much. And then I skipped D because to me D and F are pretty much the same thing. They suck, and I named that tier torture tier because it is painful to watch some of these shows.
I think there's only gonna be a few that I would put under torture though.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I mean most things I can get through.
Yeah, get behind,
yeah.
enjoy it.
Or at least like
you try to find
get
at
a
least
few
some
things
redeeming
with it.
qualities in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I feel like most anime have something that'll keep me watching.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna throw one or two in there that you guys are probably gonna put at like A or B just due to just due to like nostalgia factor.
Oh,
maybe.
100%. I know what those are already.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put them way higher.
Yeah, I expect you guys because I believe you've both seen them.
Yeah.
But I have not, or I've seen parts of it. But to me, I thought it sucked. And then we have one tier left after that, which is have not seen, which is just for like I put a few in this tier list that are like the classic, like the shonen everybody looks to as like a baseline for shonen, but we might not have all seen them, so
Yeah.
I put that there as a tier, so we just don't have anything to comment on them. But yeah, back to Assassination Classroom. I think I've only seen the first episode. Have you seen any of it, Noah?
I've seen about 12 episodes. Isaac, have you seen this?
I watched all of it, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Isaac is the Assassination Classroom expert.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Isaac,
one of
you
the
should
very
get closer
few
to your
anime
mic a little bit.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, yeah, Isaac, talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of the few animes that I've watched that somehow you guys haven't fully completed yet. There's not gonna be many on this list that are like that, but no, it was a really good story. It started off kind of slow to me, and like that's just like every other anime. It's definitely good enough to recommend. Definitely.
You say it's got
a super big following too.
Really?
Yep. It's got great characters, great character development. Like at first, like the story completely changes by the end of it. It was a good show.
The way I looked at it from the
Sensei's a
first
beast.
episode is I was gonna put it in like the meh, like C tier, because I just like the first. I mean, I've only seen the first episode, and it's obviously gonna get better after that, unless it's got like a Promised Neverland kind of hook to it.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the ending is probably one of my favorite endings in like any show I've ever watched.
I have heard it has a good ending.
Yeah, it completes the whole story really well, and like it's not a really like long anime either. It's pretty short and sweet. It's just like one of those one season shows, and it was definitely a good watch.
So you go A, Isaac?
I think because I've watched it all the way through, yeah, I think it's good enough to recommend, and it's definitely A tier. But like for you guys who haven't seen it, and what I know you guys have seen, it's probably looking like a tier T.
I was gonna give it a B because it's popular and I didn't hate it. I just dropped it because I was watching other things. So I don't think it's meh, but I'd put it in B.
Yeah, since I was at C, I think we should probably just cut down the middle, and put it in B. And
should we just do that? For rankings, like if two of us go A, one goes B, we'll just put it in A.
Yeah. And then if it's a have not seen, which I'm sure there are plenty of these on, for me at least.
But if I'd say even if you haven't seen it, if you've watched a fight scene or seen a few episodes or watched videos on it, you can still get the gist.
Yep.
That's what I plan on doing.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it in B tier, good enough, or good but not special for right now. And then
cool with that.
Let's bring up the next one, which is Black Clover. Me personally, I think Black Clover, at least for the story, is an A.
100%. And story-wise,
animation can be lackluster sometimes, but
lackluster. Some of the worst shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great.
There was just one awful fight about midway through the show that's just like, it gets better after, but that was so bad.
Isaac, I've never seen anything that poorly animated. I was appalled. No, it's like their budget was
Ladros,
one person and they're paying him $10 an hour.
It was bad.
Like,
it was bad. It wasn't even like some shows will do it as like an artistic choice, but that was not an artistic choice.
Have you guys read the manga at all? Because I heard the manga
I've read the first couple
anime
of chapters.
out of the water.
I've read the first couple of chapters, but that's like not really enough to like give a judgment on what's better. But I mean,
Yeah.
usually the manga does tend to be better than an anime,
It's a little more
True.
in-depth.
unless you're Demon Slayer, which I've heard that the anime is far superior.
Well, based on I've only seen the anime, I'm gonna put it in. I would give it a B. And I do really like Black Clover, but I stay with it because I think the world and the story are
Mhm.
super interesting. If I read the manga, I'd probably put it in A.
I
Yeah.
think
But I'm gonna go B.
I think that right now, it like where it's at this point in the show, it's sitting like at the high like part of B tier. Like you could probably like I don't know if you guys are organizing the tier list by like in ranking. Like so, let's say Assassination Classroom is to the right of Black Clover,
Oh
meaning it's
yeah. I'll
lower
put
on the
this.
tier.
I'll
So you
put.
could put it higher in the B tier, but
Oh
like
yeah, let's do that. Let's do
yeah.
that. Good idea,
Yep.
Isaac.
So I'll
Uh,
put Black Clover in front of Assassination
So
Classroom
right
on
now,
the B
yeah,
tier.
it's at the top of B tier. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, my favorite part of that show, and like the reason I think it could even get better, is because like they just have so many likable characters in it. Like it's insane the amount of characters in. Like usually when an anime stretches out too much and like has too many characters that you have to try to care about, it gets like taxing and sometimes kind of like boring. And usually
That
they're
is
pretty
kind
crappy
of
characters.
that's kind of a common thing in shonen though too. Is that wide cast of characters? You know.
Yep. But
Mm.
this one really works. Like
No,
there's so many characters I like in this show.
I agree. And I really like how they have like the nobles and then the lesser people. I like that whole dynamic, and you
Mhm.
end
I
up
think
really
that's pretty
caring
cool.
for every character and getting a vibe. So I agree totally, Isaac. I think the characters are definitely a strong suit.
Yeah. So B tier it is, front of the B tier.
Yeah, top
Next
of B
one we
tier.
got here is Bleach.
God, I wish I.
I've
Oh, I
seen.
haven't seen it.
Have you seen any of it, Isaac?
I'm pretty similar to Leezer in where I've seen like only
Okay.
like the first arc of
Just
episodes. I
okay.
just
So
haven't
I've
gotten
seen
into
I've
it.
seen all the way through Soul Society, which is like I don't know the first at least 30 episodes, maybe longer.
Hmm.
I don't even. I'm really bad with judging how many episodes are in things because I usually just watch everything back to back.
Yeah, but isn't that the best
That
like
is
arc in the whole
yeah.
show?
So that arc is actually I think it's probably like the first 64 episodes, and it's a great arc. But after that, I think it almost has to fall down to C to F range because of the amount of filler that's in it.
Hmm.
Because nobody wants to watch that much filler.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like it's like so much. Yeah, it is the first 64 episodes I got it pulled up on my phone is up to the Soul Society arc, which is a great
Okay.
arc.
Mhm.
And then 64 to 108 is a whole filler arc, but like
Well, I've seen like
non-substantial content.
15 episodes, and I watched the Aizen fight, which was cool. So I'm putting
Yeah.
it in B for potential. The
I
potential it
mean,
has, I'm going
if
B with
if
it.
we're
That's
going
my
like
judgment.
manga, I think
I
it
know people
belongs
tend to
like
really like this show.
Right.
up in the top or like front of B, A. I didn't even consider front of A, but I think the filler cuts it down to like a C, to be honest, at max.
You're going C. I'm going B.
Isaac have
I think from what I've heard, and like this is from another buddy I know that watches anime, he said he really enjoyed it, and it's one of like his favorites. So he would probably put it up in like A or S tier. But I just
Okay.
from knowing how much of a following it is, like Noah said with potential, I think I would put it up on B.
Okay, I'll put it at the end of
Maybe towards
B.
the back end.
Yeah,
towards the
bottom
Yeah.
of
back end.
B.
So we
It's
got
hard
3 and B, and I'm
Yep.
expecting this next one to not fall in B, and that is Boruto,
You mean Boruto, the best anime of all time? Are you kidding
the
me? There's
anime that
nothing
has gone
better.
150 episodes without a canon arc. Yeah,
Oh my God,
best
that's
thing
so
ever.
bad. That's so bad. Yeah, that's torture. That's
Yeah,
torture.
I think we're throwing
Uh,
Boruto in torture. I don't even think we
yeah.
need to.
I mean, I've watched all of Naruto and Shippuden, and
The thing is
like
that
I watched like 10 episodes of this, and each one of them were just absolute garbage every single time. I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot because I've already
Boruto has
invested
like a
so much.
good
Same,
following
Isaac.
though, which is so weird.
That's because Naruto has the most diehard fan base
Yeah.
ever.
It's
But yeah,
Whatever. I don't even
Isaac,
think we
I
need
watched
to
like 10
discuss
episodes
that.
too, and it was the worst thing I think I've ever seen. Like,
good. They just do the original like stuff dirty, and they make their fans so angry with some of the stuff too. I know, like I've seen so many just memes about everybody hating Boruto.
yeah.
All right. Yep, that falls into F. torture tier. Next one, I actually don't think any of us have seen.
I've never seen
I
it.
saw this
and
one on the list, and I did not.
And that's Blue Exorcist. I'll probably get around to it sooner or later.
I know there's demons, but I haven't even
yeah.
seen a fight from it or anything. So
I have not seen anything about Blue Exorcist. I'm on the same boat as Noah. It sounds like we all are. I don't know. There's just so many other things that are much more enticing to watch.
Yeah.
And this didn't get any hype at all, really.
No.
So it just didn't.
I don't hear anyone talking about it.
No, me either. So we'll just drop that in the have not seen tier.
Yeah.
And then so next one on the list here is Demon Slayer.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think maybe it's between A and S tier for me, I'd say.
I was gonna give it a solid A. A solid A.
I think it's so like the first season was so perfect, or like it was so good.
Dude, it was so good. It was so good.
I recommended this show to like one of my buddies who's never watched anime before, and we were trying to get him started on it, and he watched he watched My Hero, and he enjoyed it. And then he watched this show, and he's just obsessed with it now. Like, especially this show.
That's awesome.
For it. Yeah, he's full on just absolutely in love with this show, and I can totally see why. It's so good.
It's one of the best starter anime, I feel like, not gonna lie.
Especially like the first season is so entertaining, but the only problem that I think I could find with future seasons of the show is that maybe it could just get too repetitious.
Yeah.
Like it's just the same shit happening over and over again. Like he goes to a new town, fights a demon with different powers, collects their blood, sends it, and then goes to a different town, maybe fight one of the 12 moons or whatever.
Dude, I don't know. I think it's gonna. I really don't know what to expect.
I've heard it's had
anything spoiled.
I've heard it's had a bad ending.
I heard it had a bad ending, but I bet they start killing off people because I don't think this show is the type of show where they're not like afraid to kill people off. I feel like it could start getting deep and get pretty intense.
Yeah, and I think that the anime is so well done that I
Can
think
we talk about episode 19? Are you fucking kidding me? It's one of the best episodes in all of anime.
It's so good.
It's
so good.
That episode was insane.
My roommate was watching the show actually, and he was right around. I don't know if he was on episode 19, but like I sat down and watched one episode alongside him, and I saw it, and I was like, all right, I cannot watch anymore because I need to watch this show. I was like, what am I doing?
All right, yeah, that's you. Yeah, if you would have got episode 19 spoiled, that's like the peak. But dude, that's like one of the anime episodes where I like stood up like in my room, like out of my bed, and was like, holy shit, what is going on? Like this is crazy. Like just getting hyped for myself, and it's a good episode when you can get hyped by yourself.
Definitely.
Great was that the same episode that Zenitsu like killed the other spider guy?
One episode after, I believe.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep.
That was a pretty epic moment as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Isaac, did you ever get to give it a rating here?
Okay, so I honestly think I would put this one in S tier. I love this show, and like so far, like from what I've watched of it, I haven't had an issue with it yet.
Dude, that's totally fair. I can see it being in either one.
Especially for Isaac has not seen nearly as many anime as Noah or I.
Casual.
But I could see if it's something that you haven't seen, like the biggest anime, like the best out there, it would fall in S. Like that would be the best thing you've ever seen.
I mean, dude, it's up there. Like it almost was in my honorable mentions on my favorite anime.
Yeah,
based on the first
I'll keep it at top of A. I think it'll probably stick in top of A. I don't think there's gonna be anything else that passes it up in the top of A.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
looking.
To make an argument for, but
there's a couple I can make an argument for. But yeah, should we
we'll leave it there for right now. Next up is Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone is different because it's a show that doesn't have power system.
I don't know where to put this one.
Me personally, it's good, but it's not special.
All right.
I think that's a good spot for it.
I was gonna throw it in meh. Okay. I liked it, but it was like not even close. I mean, I liked other anime that season a lot more, and it kind of got the back burner for me compared to
Mhm.
other shows. But I liked it. It's like in between. It's like C plus for me.
I think
It's like meh plus.
I think bottom of B is a good spot for it. If you're a person that was not into the whole like extreme battle type of stuff and was more, I don't know, wanted to learn a thing or two, I could see how it
Yeah.
would end up higher up. But I don't think I can put it any higher than B.
It gets
Uh,
brownie points for me because it's just so much different than anything I've ever watched. I
Right,
feel
yeah.
like.
And I've read that, like, I have every volume of the Dr. Stone English translated so far, and the artwork in that is amazing. But the future after probably the next season of Dr. Stone, I think they're covering the Stone Wars. After that, it gets it's not that
Dude,
good.
I'm cool with bottom of B because it does get brownie points, like you said, Isaac, because of how original it is. I'm cool with bottom of B.
Okay, we'll leave it there for right now, and then pick up Dragon Ball Z. For me, it lands an F. I think this show sucks.
So much.
I know. I love it too for
I can't.
nostalgia. I have nostalgia goggles though.
You
Oh
probably
yeah,
both put it
100%.
in. People will probably hate, like, everybody that like started watching anime as like
I started on the show.
in their elementary
Yeah,
school
same,
years
dude. This was 100%
would put
like
this in like a maybe even S if you're that nostalgic about it.
Yeah.
But
little
I
ba-
did not watch any of it until freshman year of college, and
in
it
all
was bad.
in all honesty, I think like parts of this show could be like classified in like the low B, honestly. Like especially like the first couple of arcs between like Vegeta and Frieza and like even maybe Cell you could make an argument for. I know some people don't like that arc very much,
It's
but
my
it
favorite
just
arc, bro. My favorite
yeah,
arc. Swear to
exactly.
God.
I know you're a big Gohan Super Saiyan 2 stan.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, a little backstory on me and Isaac. I mean, me, Isaac, and AK have known each other for years, just for
Yep.
since we were kids. But me and Isaac actually, we both watched Dragon Ball as a kid, and we started talking about it one day. And then was it 7th or 8th grade, Isaac? We both watched the whole series.
Yep, we went through it on that one corny like illegal Dragon Ball Z watching site.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a little backstory behind Dragon Ball. But this is dear to my heart, and I am going to put it in B because I understand it's not A or S, but my nostalgia goggles carry it to B.
Um, like if I had to watch it now, I know it would still hang in like C for me. So
Mhm.
I'll put it in the top of C. Like that's where I think it should sit.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause,
cool
like
with.
I love this show, but to
Yeah,
like
I'm
a lot
cool
of
with
anime
that.
viewers, I know they're not gonna love it.
Yeah, and you know, for me that this to me this belongs in torture because I think it's awful.
That
But
makes
I'll put
sense
it. I'll
though.
put
But you
it in.
started on good anime. Me and Isaac didn't.
Yeah, and everybody that likes Dragon Ball, I hate to say it, but if you think this is actual quality content, I feel sorry for you.
I
It's
feel like the
it's
argument for are you
it's
talking like
completely
Dragon Ball Z
nostalgia.
right now, or are you
Yeah,
talking
I
original
haven't.
Dragon Ball?
I have not seen much of the actual Dragon Ball,
Mm-hmm.
but Dragon Ball Z I thought was trash.
Understandably.
That's fair. Should we go to Dragon Ball?
Yeah,
Because
and the next one
Yeah.
up is Dragon Ball.
I've probably seen half of it, maybe not even.
I know the manga is supposed
I
to
know
be
the
better.
storyline of it, and I have seen like certain episodes that I just felt like watching, like when Goku fights Piccolo and stuff like
Yep.
that. So I just know like from how much I've like heard from other people who watch this show and like this series that they just all consider it like one of the original staples of manga and anime. People just like they kind of bow down to it because of how
Yeah.
much it like
Mm-hmm.
popularized it. I feel like.
I'm going C. I think it did a lot for the anime community, and I'm going C, and I feel like it deserves to be
Yeah.
there.
I
Even
think
though
it
I have
does
not
deserve
seen
to
it
be in
completely
C.
through, I know it deserves to be at least C. I know.
I'm gonna put it in the front of C right now.
Well, I've actually heard some Anitubers talk about how they liked Dragon Ball better than Dragon Ball Z, and I
Mhm.
haven't seen enough where I can talk about that. But
Mhm.
it definitely deserves to be right with Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I'll put them right next to each other. I put Dragon Ball a little bit in front of Dragon Ball Z for the moment.
Kind of getting like I remember like actually trying to watch through the show now a little bit, and like I made it through the arc where Goku like actually becomes like the full-on Saiyan for the first time with the moon, and like up until that point I wasn't like completely hating it.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely was watchable.
Well,
Definitely.
and the cool thing about that is you realize because Goku actually killed his father figure on Earth,
Yeah.
correct?
Gohan. Yep.
Which was kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed what I saw at Dragon Ball. It just has a very old style of animation, and it's super old show, so it's kind of tough to get into.
Yep.
Does it? I know Dragon Ball Z has heavy filler, or not really filler, but it just strings things out really bad.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's really strings things out.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
thought it was
much from Dragon
that
Ball.
was torture, but either ways, we'll leave Dragon Ball in C tier in
Mm.
front of Dragon Ball Z, and then next up we got Fairy Tail.
Torture.
I don't think
Dropped it 3 times, bro. Can't get into it at all. I don't like Fairy Tail. I've tried to watch it 3 different times, and I've watched like the first like 30 episodes, I think, and then I watched like the first 15 like 2 years later, and I just hated it, bro. I just hated it.
People either have a love, or they either love the show or they absolutely despise it. It's nothing in between.
Dude, I think it's fun. Like, it's kind of a fun concept. Natsu's a goofy dude. Like, I like the guild. I think it's super interesting. But, bro, I can't get behind anything in the show, and I end up dropping it because I'm just trying to grind it out because I want to, like, do what all the hype is
get
about.
the culture, but you can't because it's
and
so
I just
bad.
can't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm putting it.
I think I'd put it probably in F2.
I haven't
torture.
watched it, but like my other friends one time, we were just hanging out and they played the one like whatever the most famous intro is from it. I don't know if it's the first or one of the ones along the way, but I was like, "Oh, you guys have watched this show? Did you like it?" And all of them were like, "No, this intro is like the only like
The
happy
only
memory
good thing
you can
about
have
the
from
show is
Yep.
the intro.
Uh-huh.
Oh no,
That's
that is
dude,
not a good sign.
That one's tough. If people end up watching these and go back in time and we have like thousands of listeners, they're gonna fry us for that one.
Oh well,
But I don't care.
Can't do it. I can't do
People love
Fairy
that
Tail.
show, but
I just can't
I'm
do
honest when it comes to anime.
it. So am I, and I wish there was a tier below, but I can't. I can't add a tier now. So next one, my personal favorite one that is currently like releasing episodes right now.
I agree.
Ongoing.
Fire Force. Well, yeah, like the season is now.
Yep.
It's gonna be the best of the season because this season blows.
Yeah, this season is bad. But I put Fire Force in A tier, or I think it's good enough to recommend. I honestly think Fire Force is better than My Hero. I like the story way better.
I really enjoy Fire Force. I feel like its concept, it seems so basic. It's like, what, everyone has fire powers? How can that be interesting? And then it just blows your mind, and it's so cool and so good.
It is
the
a great
sound
show.
mixing that they do with like some of the effects on the fights. Like I love Shinra's like Adola burst. The way those things sound.
Yes,
Isaac.
So good point. That is, they do really well with sounds in that show. That when it like starts to shimmer or whatever, it gets a little blurry, and then that sound that they have.
It has great. Who animates this show? I can't remember.
I have no idea. Okay, now I'm curious.
I don't remember. I used to know. Is it Bones? Does Bones animate it? No, I don't think so. I don't remember. Either ways, I think we all think it belongs in A.
I definitely think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's just go on to the next one. I don't think any of us have actually seen this show, but we had to put it. I put it on here because it is one of the defining shonen anime out there, and that's Fist of the North Star.
Haven't seen it.
Damn.
I've only seen the clip where he like will poke I've seen like
yes,
he'll like poke dudes and then they'll just like explode. Yeah.
It is by Bones, AK.
Is it by Bones?
Good shit.
Yeah,
it's anime encyclopedia. You.
Yeah, I mean, I could kind of tell from the style is kind of similar to My Hero, and that's also Bones. So,
dude, but it has like the best anime meme of all time. That means we have to put it in at least C.
S tier.
Wait, is this
oh,
the
Mairi
Shindayu.
Oh, it is the Nani one. Yes.
Wait, the what?
The Nani?
Nani?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, no, I'm just kidding. That puts it in B. I don't care. It's going back a B. I don't give a shit.
I think it's got to go in the front of B just for the clout.
I think it does, dude. That's Meme City. Literally the biggest anime meme of all time comes from this show. It's got to be B.
I mean, for people that have seen it, just to clarify, I think people would put it in A or S because it is a defining show for the shonen genre, but none of us have seen it, so we can't really say other than the meme.
Yeah, just from looking at this like title picture, it looks like it could have like a like JoJo's kind of vibe with the hair of the main character. At least that's all I can see.
I don't think
really,
it's not that kind of I think it's a more
Okay.
serious kind of show.
Okay.
But I do know that Kenshiro he's like low-key the source material for a lot of anime protagonists like Goku. I honestly think the JoJo's actually they take some from Kenshiro. Yeah, it's definitely.
I mean, look at the pictures here between him and Jotaro on here. Like they look exactly the same.
Yeah, it's
massive specimens.
Definitely a staple.
So
how old is that show? 90s?
It's old. I don't probably in the 90s.
Says here on Wikipedia that
probably early 90s.
Yeah, it looks like late 80s, early 90s. Yep.
Damn, that really must have been some of the first stuff to get popular.
Yeah. All right, so next up, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
S.
I don't think we need to vote on this one. I think we're just throwing it in S.
It's damn near perfect. You can't complain about it. A lot of people consider it the god of anime.
Isaac, I feel like I thought that you didn't watch it.
No, you guys recommended me this show, and you're like, it's so good, and I was like, all right, we'll see. Like, and probably halfway through, I was like, holy crap.
Oh, so you have seen it?
You texted us about it. You grinded that show out.
Yeah. Roy Mustang is one of my favorite characters in any show.
Same.
Like
He's
by far, he's top 5.
But he's 100%. Not even the best character in the show, dog.
Oh, he is.
It's Armstrong.
Armstrong is up there, but Roy, dude, I simp Roy. I love him.
I love Armstrong so much.
Power. Oh, so badass, just with the snap every time. Oh.
Dude, when he cauterizes his wound and then fries Envy, bro, are you kidding me? That was the sickest shit ever.
That fight. Ugh.
He's great, dude.
I still need to see. Noah and I started the original Full Metal Alchemist, but we only made a couple episodes in. What?
It's kind of tough to watch, not gonna lie.
Well, the thing is, it's pretty much it's the same exact story, pretty much for the first at least like couple arcs.
Portion.
Yeah.
It does it in a different order, which is kind of a weird order. But then, I don't know. I've never gotten past that, and past that is where actually a lot of people say that they prefer the original because they do more character development on
the sins.
The sins, yeah.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood belongs in S tier. I don't think anybody will dispute that.
Nope. Not at all.
Not at all.
Next up, we got here Food Wars.
S tier in front of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. One of my favorite anime of all time. I love this fucking show so much, dude. Oh my god. It made me drop Haikyuu. And Haikyuu's great. It made me drop Haikyuu because I was loving it so much. I love this show.
I think it's good, but it's not special.
All right.
See, I'm in the middle of watching it right now, and I feel like it has the potential to definitely be A tier. Right now, it's at a B for me. The only reason I have for not having it at A is it's just got so much fan service that it's hard for me sometimes.
So an S and 2 Bs, that makes an A for me, bottom of
A. We'll place it at the bottom of A.
I'll take it, dude. I love that show.
It's definitely good.
It's so weird.
Okay.
It's a good show. Like I enjoy every minute of it, but
it's a show that does fan service perfectly. And I'm not a fan service guy, but this show does fan service perfectly, and I love it so much. Not for the fan service. I like the hype shonen battle cooking show. They're cooking wars. It's just great.
It's a great
blow
show.
Soma. No cap.
You blow Soma. Jesus.
I would blow Soma and his dad at the same time.
And like I said with like Dr. Stone, it automatically gets those brownie points for being like unique. Like I've never like seen anything like this kind of show. So
right, like it shouldn't work. It's about cooking, and it works.
It's a battle anime. I consider it a battle anime.
Okay, yeah.
Straight up.
Oh, I do too.
It's just the battles are different.
It deserves A because they have a fictional stand battle in the show.
I forgot about that.
They actually have a lot of shout outs in that show.
There's so many shows with JoJo's references though.
Yeah.
All right, we'll place it at the bottom of A right now. Next up, I don't think any of us have seen Gintama.
I want
Nope.
to watch the show. I
I
really
do too.
I've heard great things about it.
So I've actually watched the first 2 episodes and I dropped it, and then I actually heard that the first 2 episodes of the show are filler. I don't know why they
Why
did
would you
that.
start
I
off
don't.
with
I don't.
filler?
I have no idea why
What?
they did that, but apparently the first 2 episodes are all filler. So I guess maybe I should have given it a third episode and I might have been hooked, but I haven't seen it.
That's interesting.
Right? Isn't that
That is
goofy?
really
Show like
weird.
that,
It's
but-
supposed to be kind of a comedy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a comedy anime. It's
Yeah.
more comedy than One Piece, but I feel like it's similar to One Piece. Like
Okay. Yeah,
the
I
vibe.
would. I feel like we can't really give a good enough rating to put it
No.
anywhere, so I'll just leave it in the have not seen for right now, or for ever.
Mhm.
Next up is Haikyuu.
So good. I haven't seen the second season, but it's super good.
I saw the first 2 seasons. I think there's like 5. Is there? I think they're coming out with the 5th season now.
Is it?
I think I've only seen the first 2. The first 2 seasons were great.
Yeah, I really liked that show. Oh shit, man! I might give it an A. It's either B plus or bottom of A.
I'm gonna put it in A. I would actually personally put it before Food Wars.
Oh, you swine!
I think I enjoyed Haikyuu
Despicable.
a little bit more than Food Wars.
You can't weigh my vote into this, so you're gonna have to find a medium.
I'm
Um,
going B plus
I have-
actually.
Okay,
have not
so
dipped
you're
into
like in the
sports
front of
animes
B.
yet.
I'm in the middle of A.
We'll just go back A.
We'll go back at A behind Food Wars.
That works for me.
Every
That-
time.
That's another show that shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah, it's actually, I don't know. Every time, what the hell is his name? Hinata.
Yeah,
Like
Hinata.
super jumps up and slaps the ball into the other side of the court. Low key get hyped.
Dude, I high key get hyped. I
It's
high
definitely on
key
my
get
list.
hyped. Haha. But Hinata is an intimidating little fucker. When he gets those eyes, like he's just intense as hell. Dude, I love his character. I actually like all the characters that I've been introduced to throughout the first season. What's the
Even the
name?
people on the opposing side.
Dude, my
are
favorite
good.
character in the whole show is Aizawa.
There is an Aizawa, I believe.
He's
horrible
the
with
setter.
names.
He's the setter on the opposing team that beats him after the first season. I love that guy. All the girls think he's like
Oh
super
yeah.
attractive, and he's just a
Like on the
stone-cold
blue team.
savage. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a beast.
dude, he's
Sounds
my
like
favorite
Todoroki.
character. Dude,
Yeah,
honestly, I feel like he has Todoroki's hair, but it's just brown. It's like the same style.
I mean, his hair in Haikyuu kind of goes like off to the side more
Yeah.
than Todoroki.
Dude, that guy's sick though. I really like him. I just like the show in general. Actually, the only reason I haven't continued to watch it is because Food Wars sucked my soul out of my body. But
I'll
mean,
probably I dropped, or I didn't drop it. I guess I'll pick it up sooner or later again. But there were a few other shows that sucked me in that I felt the need to watch before I continue watching Haikyuu, and I do that a lot with shows that are like on running. Like I'll drop them while they're like still producing episodes, and then after they're done, I'll just kind of binge watch the whole thing.
yeah,
I prefer
I-
to binge watch.
I
don't know.
also prefer to binge watch.
That way you get more immersed when you're binge watching.
Well, and if you are watching it weekly and you get caught up in a show that has all the episodes out, you just binge watch it and then you forget about the show you're watching weekly. I don't know. That's
Mhm.
kind of what happens to me.
Yeah, that's pretty much kind of why I put Haikyuu on the back burner.
But then there's like shows like Attack on Titan this year that are going to be coming out, and there's not a chance in hell I will miss
Well,
one of those
that
episodes on a weekly
that's a show
basis.
that is like monumental
Mhm.
that you cannot miss.
And I'd argue that that show has like it keeps you into the story even on a week to week basis. Like you're waiting for that next Thursday.
Oh,
to see
yeah.
what the fuck happens.
Absolutely.
I would like even last season I was watching it like within a half hour after it would drop.
Oh yeah.
Like it is so good, but we're not. We're getting
That's not a
completely-
shonen.
That is not shonen. It is on some shonen tier list, even though that is as sane as seinen as it comes.
It would get an S from us if it was on.
Yeah,
this
if
list.
it was on this list, just know it belongs in S. But we're done talking about Haikyuu. So let's go to the next one, which also belongs in S.
100%.
Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, I love Hunter x Hunter. Me and my roommate watched the first 5 episodes today, actually. And dude, that show's sick. Like I got to watch it and see Hisoka for the first time, and I literally was like, "Oh my god, Hisoka!" Like, I was just
By the end, you kind of forget that like Hisoka was the main first villain.
yeah.
But then, wow, does that change from that?
I would put it in front of Brotherhood, but that's
Really?
Yeah, I would personally. That's my vote for it. I love Hunter x Hunter. It's one of my favorite anime of all time.
I'd argue that show was like my final stepping stone of getting into anime, because I started with those shows like, well,
It is a
one
great
that's
show to
later
start
on this tier
people
list. My first anime technically would be Yu-Gi-Oh, and then we move on to like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, and then I watched My Hero, and I still wasn't like 100% sold. I really enjoyed My Hero, and then Hunter x Hunter was the one where I was like, all right, I gotta look for more shows like this because this is great.
Dude, Hunter x Hunter is beautiful, just through and through. I love that show so much. And Nen, dude, Nen just
Nen
sucks
is the
you
coolest
right in.
power system ever of all time. The thing is, what you said, Isaac, you gotta find shows like Hunter x Hunter. You can't. There isn't.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
There isn't, yeah.
Yep. It just has a perfect power system. The world that started to build was amazing, and then author stops, but
the villains in that show are what do it for me.
Everything.
The Phantom Troop, Hisoka, and Meruem, I just appreciate all of, like, I appreciate the whole Phantom Troop. I appreciate Hisoka so much, and I appreciate Meruem to a different level. And I talked about him. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, last week. I just love the show.
Even like the bodyguards, like Pito, those were pretty sick too. Like they were pretty terrifying.
They were super terrifying, and that's really what made Meruem so horrifying, is because like we talked about it last week.
Those bitches, and
yeah, Pito one-shotted Kite, and Kite was like a god at that point in the series. And then I was like, oh my god, what are these Chimera ants? And then Meruem gets born, and it's like, holy shit. Yeah. Dude, that scene in the Chimera Ants arc where Meruem he unlocks like true potential, and there's like that flash, and then he just like in less than a split second appears right next to Knuckles and that other guy. That shit was so bad. I just love Meruem. I just love Hunter x Hunter. Sorry, that's my little rant on it.
Yeah, a little bit of geeking out on it. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it belongs in an S tier. I don't think anybody will.
That's a unanimous S, I
believe.
Yep. Next one, I believe Noah will put an S.
It's 100% getting an S for me. It's my second favorite anime of all time.
And it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think, to me at least, it's A. It's bottom of A, and that's specifically. I really don't enjoy the story of it that much. But for the memes and for just like the straight tomfoolery of what happens in that show,
yeah,
like it's a staple. Like you can't go on without watching. If you're an anime fan, you can't not watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Well, I'm putting it at S+, so I'm gonna get it as moved up as high as it can, because I would have that in front of Hunter x Hunter and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. But that's my personal belief.
Honestly, me who's kind of in the process of watching the final season of the show, I don't know. I feel like I'm being nice when I give it a low A, because Stardust Crusaders
I would give it a low A
was
as
so hard for me to make. Or not, wait. I don't know. I think it was Stardust Crusaders with the repetitive battle arcs. I had such a hard time making it out of those. But I'm like, I gotta do it. I gotta.
The whole show, though.
And but then you get definitely the worst.
It gets pretty drawn out in some of them. They could have skipped over a lot of the arcs on their way to like Egypt or whatever, or like not arcs, but a lot of the battles are just unnecessary.
There's a lot of forgettable enemy stand users. There's a few good ones thrown in there,
but that also doesn't change. Like in the next season, like with Josuke, there are still some very forgettable stand users.
Yeah,
like the dude that was in the power tower or whatever.
Oh yeah, that guy was
And
fucking
then
weird.
the
Hey,
alien like saved him, and then you
dude, the
never see the
alien was
alien
sick,
again.
man. No, we saw the alien again.
Well, yeah, he was like Dice once.
He played dice.
That was such a
Bro,
dumb arc.
that was a lit arc because Rohan's house was burning down and he knew it was burning and Josuke's like, Rohan, your house is on fire. Like, we gotta leave. And he's like, no, let it burn. I need to figure out how you're cheating. And just did not care that his house was on fire.
And then the
part was
dice started puking.
because of the siren.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
love
don't know.
JoJo's.
The oh no's were definitely keeping me in it though. That's the only thing that got me through the whole show. Because each time he did that, or oh my god, I
Yeah.
lost it every single time.
Joseph's the best
Holy
anime character ever.
Joseph
I-
Joestar is great.
Shit.
I saw the montage of like all of those together, and I was almost crying. It was
It's
so
great.
funny.
It's so great. Yeah, I think I'll put it in between Fire Force and Demon Slayer on A tier. So
It's a
second and A tier.
travesty.
You know it doesn't belong in S. You
It
know.
belongs in front of S. I would put it as the
No,
number one.
shut
most anime.
up.
I swear to God.
It does not belong there.
It
You should
does.
be happy that it's in A. If it didn't
I-
have so many
I'm happy-
memes, I'd put it in C.
Oh, what? All right, I'm happy we moved it up, but I think
Yeah.
it has,
You
and
can
cannot
be
change my
content.
mind.
Be content before I move it down.
Guys, there's two JoJo paintings in the Louvre. Scientists have named like 3 creatures that they discovered out like from JoJo's characters. Like this series is monumental.
pretty hilarious.
It's the most referenced anime in other anime. It's just great, but I'll keep it at A. Let's move on. Sorry. I
Okay.
love JoJo.
Next up is Magi.
B.
B. Okay.
I-
I don't
I've
have
seen-
anything to say about Magi.
I've,
I
I've,
haven't
I've
seen
almost seen all the first season, and it was actually pretty sick. Not gonna lie. There's this character, named Sinbad in the show, and he is such a badass. Like he is so cool, and the show honestly works. AK, I feel like if you gave it a chance, you'd enjoy it. I should
it. That
probably
was
like,
actually
finish it, but
like-
it's good.
yeah. That was actually like next up on my list to watch here after I finished Bungo Stray Dogs. That was like
Yeah.
the next one up.
It's pretty cool. They have this power system with jinns, which are like from Aladdin, like the genie. These jinns have different powers that these little artifacts grant, and it's honestly pretty cool. Some of them can do some pretty wild stuff. It's a very interesting anime.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right,
leave it at bottom of B. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it, so
For sure.
next up, My Hero Academia. Isaac thinks it's an S.
I don't think it's an S. I think
Noah
it's
and
an A.
I think it's
an
an
A.
F.
No, an F.
I would
I'd
give
put it.
F.
I put it
I would
C.
give it-
I put it meh.
Come on. Okay, let me
Okay,
cater to
it's
you. for a little bit here.
bottom of B, top of C for me.
The reason I have it in A, and I think literally the biggest redeeming factor of the show is how great the fights are. Like I think this show
Oh, yeah.
has some of the best fights in all of anime.
It
still.
does.
Like and honestly, that is a good enough reason for me to put it at A.
The hype
Honestly.
moments in My Hero Academia
The
are off the
music,
charts.
Another thing that I'm pretty like you can cater to me like pretty easily with is the music, and I love the music in this show. Like the main theme is just love it. All the intros are good. The animation is great.
It does
I
have good
definitely
animation.
have it. I'd have it towards the
does.
top of A, not in front of Demon Slayer. I think it's right next to Fire Force.
I'm gonna go. Okay,
I do think
I'll
It-
put it in B. I'll go bottom of B because I guess like now that I think about hype moments, there's like 6 in that show that I was like, holy shit, this is
Yeah.
insane.
I think a good spot for it is in between Bleach and Doctor Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. especially
So
for a lot of
fifth
people.
and B.
Yep.
I think
I'm
that's
cool
a
with
good
that.
spot for it.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
'Cause
because there are
I
a lot of
do like My Hero better than Doctor Stone. I do.
yeah, there are a lot of pretty impactful moments in the show. It does have decent. It has some decent characters. So
I
I'll
feel
put
like
it,
it
I'll put
honestly
there.
has pretty good potential to like climb on the list too, depending on how they like what direction they take characters. I haven't read the manga,
Well,
so I don't know.
I'm-
But
I've heard the next arc it's like the Endeavors arc, and I heard it's one of the best in the show. And I love Endeavors, so if they kill that, it will definitely move up my list.
yep,
All right.
All right.
So next up is we'll do the Naruto.
All right, top of B
Wait,
for
Naruto.
me,
Okay.
because I like
Is
Naruto more than Shippuden.
yeah, I agree with that. I'd say like to the bottom part of B probably with this. I think.
I think it's worse than Black Clover for sure.
Yeah.
I
I liked it
I
better
would
than My
say
I'd
Hero.
say right behind Doctor Stone is right where I could see it.
I think I like it a little bit better than My Hero, to be honest. I think I'd put it in between Bleach and My Hero. Actually, I think I'd put it in front of Bleach.
Well, if you can get past like it's kind of childish, you could say, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a
Well,
lot
the
of
characters are pretty young, at least
I feel
in
like
the original.
a lot of the stuff in Naruto is better than Shippuden because I feel like Naruto had a better storyline and deeper philosophies than Shippuden did because Shippuden kind of just threw gorgeous animation and crazy fight scenes at us, but it's like they just threw it up on us. There was
Yep.
no really structure.
Mm-hmm.
He had one
So you're
goal
saying
for the
Shippuden
majority of
should
the
go in
end.
C?
I would
Yeah.
go C, but I'd probably put it in front of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I 100% agree with that. I enjoyed Shippuden, but like the filler was pretty awful
It
in
was
some parts,
atrocious.
and yeah, but like
If
it started out well.
It did, and if they wrapped it up after the Pain arc and the Great
Oh.
Shinobi War arc wasn't in there, I would have probably put it in A or B because the Great Shinobi War arc had some really cool things going on, but it didn't make any sense at all.
The power
None of it.
scaling just went out the window.
Dude, they just chucked it out the window and then nothing made sense. I was so confused the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like so Naruto's and like Sasuke and like Naruto and Sasuke are like these reincarnated gods basically. Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
Like, huh? I
Yeah.
don't know. Out of nowhere. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm cool with where both of those landed.
Yep. Naruto's middle of B. Shippuden's the top of C.
I have nostalgia goggles for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely here too.
So next up is
Top
One
of S!
Piece.
Top of S! Best adventure. Okay, hear me out. One Piece is the single best adventure story in all of fiction, and I don't care what any of you plebs have to say about it. It's amazing.
I will say it's a lot better read than it is a watch.
I agree 100%. Rereading currently.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know,
at chapter about 100 right now. A little
I
bit
have to read
past that.
through it eventually here. Like I just have to. I know like you guys hype it up. I know I have other friends that hype it up. I've watched like not a decent chunk into it compared to how many episodes are out now.
Well,
But
didn't you get to like Skypiea, Isaac?
yeah, that's where I was at when I
Yeah,
was
That's where
that's
I-
a pretty good
that's where I
chunk to
got
get the
to.
vibe.
Uh-huh. So I don't
It's
know where I'll put
160
it.
episodes, 165 episodes to
Yeah,
get to
that
Skypiea.
Sky arc, it took a little too long for me, and that's kind of why I lost it. Like, so I feel like the manga would really help out with that. When
You can crush or like there's a lot. They don't string out stuff as much in the
Well,
manga.
I
Or it's
started
not really strung out in the anime, but it's just like quicker to read.
I started rereading the manga this summer, Isaac, and I'm on chapter 710,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah,
is I'm like 3/4 caught up.
Nice, dude. Yeah, when I start reading it more manga, I'm definitely gonna start with One Piece, and like I also wanted to give Tokyo Ghoul a shot, but I think I'll give One Piece the benefit of the doubt first and ride with that.
Tokyo Ghoul is a great read, which also ends up on a lot of shonen tier lists, which doesn't make any
Really?
sense because it is
Yeah.
literally as far from a shonen as you can
Very
possibly
adult
get.
themes in that show.
But the thing is, the anime tried to shonenize it, and that's why it
Yeah.
ends up on shonen tier lists. But it is literally as far from a shonen as you can get.
It's like it's supposed to be a horror anime.
Yeah, it's the anime screwed it up either ways. Yeah, I think One Piece goes at the top or the not the top. I think it goes at the bottom of S.
Travesty.
I can
Hey,
agree with
S
that.
is pretty
Much.
good.
Can we have an S plus for One Piece?
An S plus.
Whenever I rate an arc or like a show, my scaling system basically is from 0 to One Piece because One Piece is the best, and every arc in One Piece I love. Well, that's my favorite anime / manga, just both of all
Yeah.
time. So
It's a
will say,
little
like-
bit too long, I'd say. Is the only thing.
that's what makes it so good. The world has so many moving parts, bro. It's like a machine, and each part like matters throughout the story, and that's what makes it so good. and Oda doesn't forget about any characters. So every person you're introduced to becomes relevant later, and it's just like, did he actually have this planned out? Like, that makes no sense. Like, AK Bon Clay comes back at a certain point and has a colossal part in the story. Like,
I can't even
he does,
imagine that.
he doesn't forget about anyone, bro, and that's what makes it so amazing. It's unbelievable. And just the things that he puts in place that actually end up coming to fruition, it's amazing, and it's just unbelievable.
When I think of One Piece, I generally like not in terms of quality wise, but I associate like the show with Shippuden and like Dragon Ball Z because of its length and like just like the type of art, like length of arcs and stuff like that. But obviously, it's a different breed with how long it's made it. Both of those other shows sputtered out pretty hard at the end of
Mhm.
them, and that One Piece has just not done that at all yet.
It just keeps chucking along.
It's a monster. It's a staple. It's insane. They sold the most manga volumes out of any manga
have.
ever, and it literally not even close. So every year it's still at the top for most
Because
volumes
Oda's
sold.
literally a psychopath.
Yeah. I think I'll put it in front of Hunter x Hunter. Screw it. We'll put it in the middle. I think FMA still belongs in the top. But next up we got I put Blake in there for a second. Couldn't think of the name. Promise Neverland.
Easy A, solid A.
Honestly, I think I put it at the bottom of S.
I'm not complaining
For the
there.
season that's out, I think
It's
I put it at the bottom of S.
It's perfection, and it's short.
Really, dude, this is gonna have to be higher on my watch list one because I.
Oh, you
honestly
haven't
have
seen
not
it?
thought about-
Oh my
Watch it.
god, I thought you watched this.
I don't think you've ever recommended it to me yet. So.
Oh my god, I didn't think I'd have to.
So good, Isaac. It's so good. I just rewatched it with my roommate, and it still hit the same.
Is it a longer show or is
It's
it like a
it's
one
only
season?
13 episodes, 12 or 13.
There you go.
But it only came out 2 years ago. I think they plan on doing more seasons, but honestly, I wouldn't be that mad if they didn't because it had a good. I think the end of the season could have been considered
Good
a
enough.
decent conclusion.
It's a page turner. Every episode leaves you wanting more, and then you just watch the next one, and then there's another cliffhanger, and then you're like, oh my god. It has one of the best first episodes in anime, in my opinion. It sucks you right in, and you're like, huh? What?
Mm-hmm.
Now you've gone and got me all excited.
It's good,
Yeah,
Isaac.
this is your next show you're going to watch. You're going to watch it all tonight, starting right after this episode.
I don't know about that. I got ReZero to take care of right now.
Oh, dude, I kind of want to watch that actually, just to like.
My Crunchyroll stopped working for that, so I just stopped watching.
Is that a show? That could be considered a shonen, I suppose.
I didn't put it on here. I kept Isekai out of it.
Okay.
There's an isekai arc in Hunter x Hunter, bro.
Yeah, but that's not Isekai because it's actually just on a different island somewhere that it teleports them to.
True,
Yeah.
but the Nen makes it an isekai.
Either ways, it's not Isekai.
Yeah.
Promise
Anyways,
Neverland belongs at bottom of S. What?
Is that Rurouni Kenshin? Is that what that is?
Yeah, the
I
next
can't see.
one up is Rurouni Kenshin. I have not seen, and I actually don't really know anything about it.
I dropped it, but I've seen like 6 episodes.
Not seen it.
I think we'll just
Keep it.
place that in not seen.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yep.
we've seen enough to make a decision about it. Then after that is Soul Eater.
I liked Soul Eater, bro. I really did like Soul Eater.
Have you seen any of
But-
Soul Eater, Isaac?
I have not, but I mean, I've seen clips and like fights and just
Mm-hmm.
like
I
maybe
also have
watched an
not
episode.
seen
Let's just put it back a C.
Bacchusy.
And I enjoyed it. That's where I would throw it.
Okay, I think that's a reasonable spot for what I've heard about the show. So I think that's a good spot for it. Next up is Yu-Gi-Oh!
Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of sick.
I'll just
I
drop that
rewatched
right
it.
there. Just drop it
because
in the back
I
of
know how the
torture.
card game works. Like even the nostalgia goggles cannot save this one from me because it sucks so
To me,
bad.
it belongs in torture. I played. Hey, don't get me wrong. I thought that Yu-Gi-Oh cards were the coolest shit ever. Like I did not fuck with Pokemon cards, but Yu-Gi-Oh cards, damn, them things were so cool.
Yeah,
But I could
Yu-Gi-Oh
not watch
cards are
the show.
Fuck
Dude,
that. I'm
remember-
putting it back in C, bro.
Oh my goodness, dude.
We'll put it at.
Put it to the top of F.
Yeah, we'll
How
put
about
it.
that?
Top of F works.
We'll put
'Cause,
it
like,
in front of Boruto.
You know, this and Pokemon were like my intros to like anime as a whole, so I can't just completely say screw them. But I mean, at the same time, I've tried rewatching a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was painful.
Dude,
Painful.
Kaiba's sick.
Kaiba's the only character I can stand in that show. I remember used to love it. I used to love Joey Wheeler. Now I every time he speaks, I feel like I'm losing brain cells.
Oh,
It's
Joey
so
Wheeler's
bad.
tough. Okay, Boruto's got to go back of F though because and Fairy
Yeah.
Tail's
Worse than
got to
Fairy
go.
Tail. Okay,
Yeah.
F is now Yu-Gi-Oh! Fairy Tail Boruto.
I think
Yep.
Fairy Tail should be first. Not gonna lie.
Should it?
It's based on the following.
More effort than both of those other
Yeah.
shows combined.
I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh's a money grab.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh is just a way to sell more Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I mean, well, yeah, definitely, especially back in like, well, when did that show start? Probably like early 2000s, I'm sure. Right around when Pokemon started.
Yeah, it's a money
Hey,
grab.
hey, are we gonna consider Pokemon a shonen?
No, I consider Pokemon for babies.
Oh my goodness.
I'll
No.
put Pokemon anime wise probably ahead of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. I'll probably.
They
Oh
put
yeah,
had-
so would I.
They had a Pokemon Generations.
I'm gonna get so much
animated
freaking flack
show.
for calling Pokemon
It was an
for
anime.
babies.
But it was a generations show that actually like went through like the quests in like the actual game, and it was sick. But they only made like a pretty limited amount of episodes, and it was really short. But everybody's like, why is the anime not like this? Like, it was sick. The fights like actually had weight in them. It was fun. And like you even knew what was gonna happen if you had played the games, but it was still like far more exciting than, in my opinion, anything that like the normal series has released.
Dude, if I could be thrown into any anime world, Pokemon is in my top 5.
Really?
Dude, Pokemon's so cool.
Pokemon would be badass, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Catching little crazy animals and like little balls, that would be nuts.
Yeah, I guess.
I would body Rayquaza,
The
bro.
world building is
Body
amazing.
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza.
I would slap
It's actually
his shit.
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza.
Shut up.
Arceus, I'd make him my bitch. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
I'll put it in C. If
Next-
that were one.
Yeah. Next up is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Easy A. I watched that as a kid too. I haven't like rewatched it or watched the whole thing in order, but Yu Yu Hakusho is fucking tight.
Was this show on like Adult Swim or what was the?
Yep, it was on Cartoon Network.
Because I've definitely watched some of it, but like I don't remember anything, so I must have been like 9 or 10 years old at the time or something. Like I don't remember anything from any of what I've watched in this show.
I liked it. I really enjoy it. I can't think of the main character's name though. I'm drawing a blank. Yusuke Hirameshi is sick. Hiei, the little short guy, he's got a third eye. He's tight.
Damn.
Dude, that show is actually pretty good. Like, I feel like it'd be an easy rewatch because of how good it is.
I might have to
Yeah,
give it a try sometime soon.
I've seen bits and pieces of the show, but not enough to say anything about it. I've just seen like clips of fight scenes and such. But from what I've heard, I think it probably belongs right smack dab in between JoJo's and Fire Force.
Spirit gun. That shit's the dumbest fucking power ever, but somehow it works so well in the anime. He literally just makes a finger pistol and shoots like a spirit beam out of it. But it's
That
hype.
seems pretty
It's hype.
cool. That sounds pretty cool. I should watch that. I should really pick that up. Maybe that'll be one of the next things I watch. Our last one on our list here is Trigun.
Hey, I love Trigun.
I've not watched.
This is
yet.
another one that, yeah, I have not seen.
What's the basis of the show? Honestly, I don't know anything about it.
It's about this guy named Vash the Stampede who has a $50 billion double-dollar bounty. That's their like money in that world, and he kind of has amnesia for part of the story.
Oh.
And it's basic. He's a gunslinger. Like it's kind of in a cyberpunk Midwestern. That's like the vibe of the show.
Oh, nice.
And he's a gunslinger, but so he has like a crazy shot, and he has like 6 shooters. But his thing is he will not kill a person. that is his mortal code. He will never kill an individual, and that's what makes him so interesting.
And then he's got such a big bounty, but he's never killed anybody.
Right, and you figure out why he has that bounty, which is kind of crazy. The show really takes a wild turn, but these bounty hunters and people are sent to kill Vash, and they're called the Gung Ho Guns. And the story kind of is about him. He meets people along the way, and he fights these members of the Gung Ho Guns. And it's a super old show, but it's a very, very fun and interesting watch, and I really enjoyed it.
Where would you put it on like the tier list? Would you put it above shows like Haiku and?
I would now. I'd probably keep it at the bottom because I haven't seen it in so long.
End.
But okay. Definitely A worthy. I really enjoy Trigun.
Yeah, I'll slap it at the back of A then, and that is the last one in our setup here, because all the rest of them are duplicates because I screwed up the tier maker. But I was actually thinking, Noah, I saw a comment on on the Apple podcast thing saying that they would like us to like put an actual list of our top 10s. Yeah. And I thought maybe it would be a better idea to throw up, like, get our own My Anime List accounts, and then we can just like make our own and then put the link to that. I think that'd be more convenient.
I think so too.
So I think we'll probably end up pushing that out. Yeah, I think that's a good way, and then we can keep it updated as well.
Yeah. I myself need to sit down and make a solid top 10 too. That I always like go back on everything I say with a lot of animes. I'll say they're in my top 5, then they'll be nowhere
Isaac,
near
you
it.
can't have a top 10 when you only seen 9.
Oh, that's not true.
He's like 20.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Probably. But it's an eye opener, Isaac, because it really you like realize how many shows you actually enjoyed more than other ones, and I don't know, like, yeah, it was interesting. It really was an eye opener for me.
I think that pretty much wraps it up for this episode.
I think it does.
Again, we don't have any idea of what we're doing for our next episode because
we
are still unorganized.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming, Isaac. We appreciate it. He'll be on future episodes, so look for him.
You can expect more guests in the future as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy and continue to watch. Check out our old stuff if this is your first episode.
Yeah, till next time.